See, I wasn't a businessman when the Steve Harvey show was out. I was just happy to be on TV. Gotcha. You know, I just took my check and went out and said, I own 12% of the show back end. But I learned real quick in Hollywood, you never see back end. They got a different type of arithmetic. It's like the music industry. The only people that you make true back end with is book people. Book people are the most honest people I've ever done business with. Books, they're honest. Music and TV, you're not gonna get no back end partner. How? Man, by the time they get through doing their arithmetic, I ain't made back end on none of my shows, ever.
Cause they saying they didn't hit the numbers that it was supposed to hit?
Bruh.
Even in syndication?
Bruh, Steve Harvey's show, I never saw back end, never. It's just crazy, man. So I started figuring that out and I went, okay. You know, my business with Fremantle, which is one of the best companies I've ever dealt with, they're very honest and forthright. But when I signed a deal to do Family Feud, you know, look, man, Family Feud was a 20-year franchise. And they had ownership and they couldn't get, you know, I was going through tax problems back then. I just wanted a check. So I took the check. Over the years, I still couldn't get ownership, but since I can't get ownership, I tell you what, though. I tell you what, I might not have ownership, but you're gonna feel like I'm one. And so, now the book, completely mine.
Yeah.
I've made more money from that book, man, I can't even tell you. And I still get checks. They still send you a check. I get paid every April 1st and every October 1st. And I still get checks from the book. I don't even have to check on it. The book business is honest. I'll give you an example. Like when I go to a book signing and I got to fly there or get a hotel, if you're in the record business, they take all that, they put surcharges on it and they charge it back against your deal and your record sales. They don't do that in the book business. Whatever your book sales is, whatever your percentage is, that's your check. Whatever it costs to promote it, they ain't got nothing to do with you. So the book business, I found to be very, very clean. Back end for other stuff, man. Now, when I went to the movie, it was a tough time for me because I was in a lot of tax trouble. So I took a big check from Sony for the rights, and then I made back end points on the movie. I did, but I could have done better. I know what it was, man. It launched, you can ask Kevin, it launched a Kevin Hart. There's no Cat Williams, there's no Kevin, there's no none of these dudes, man.
Yeah.
Earthquake, who was a bad boy. You know, Bill Bellamy, Adele Givens, Monique Samora, Teddy Carpenter, Damon Wayans. It's some boys, J. Anthony Brown. Man, the first week of Def Jam, on the stage in one night was Martin Lawrence, all of the Wayans brothers, Jamie Foxx, Bill Bellamy, Bernie Mac, Cheryl Underwood, Steve Harvey, Cedric the Entertainer, J. Anthony Brown, Teddy Carpenter, Adele Givens. Dog, that stage was so, no genre bred more still living talented people than Def Jam.
Chris Tucker too was on there. Part of the Def Jam.
Chris Tucker was on that stage. This boy, see, you can't, that genre right there was nothing else. But that Mount Rushmore for me, because I know what the Kings was, man.
Nah, it was legend.
Still the highest grossing.
It's just it's something that ain't nobody finna do that. You can get 4, like I love these boys at 85 South. But they doing something, man, I never thought would be done. That's why I got to take my hat off to them. Because I don't know how they did this, man. They actually go on stage in the living room setting and sit around and talk and sell out, and the shit is funny. They've taken improv comedy to a whole nother level.
Yeah, like live conversations.
Yeah, they're different. We did that show, and after the show, we just like, how did they just do that? Like,
Dog,
they just wing it.
They're so talented, you don't realize it. Like, as it's happening, you're like, did this just happen?
I didn't think that could work. I tried improv comedy. I can't do it, and then I don't understand dividing the check. That's what always threw me. We gonna get this check and we gonna split it. Now I got to do this myself, but 85 South has came along, Chico and Mancia and DC and them boys, and they special, man. They changed the way comedy could be done. So my hat's off to them young boys right there, man, because I didn't think it could work. But once again, it wasn't in my imagination. It was in theirs. So that's my view, man. The best thing I can tell you is if you have an idea, before you go around the town pitching this idea, have your paperwork in order. Make sure you have the domains for that name. Make sure you have the IPs, any trademarks. Before you walk around pitching your idea, have everything on paper. Get your trademarks, get your IP, because that's it, ownership. Nobody's done it better than Tyler Perry. This guy right here is complete ownership of everything he do. So when he go to Hollywood, he can do it the way he want to. See, it took me a while to learn that part of it, man. I'm gonna tell you something, man. I don't know how this is gonna go with the country, but this is a long time ago in the 90s, I created a show on the WB called Steve Harvey's Big Time. Do you know what Steve Harvey's Big Time was? Because they didn't believe me when I told them, y'all ought to take Showtime at the Apollo and put it on mainstream TV instead of having me come on at 1 o'clock in the morning. I used to tell them that. Yeah. No, you can't do that. No. So I said, well, let me give them a version of it. I said, let me create Steve Harvey's Big Time. So I went to the fledgling network, WB, and they put it on. I didn't have the business of it. I should have owned the IP, the trademark. Because you know what Steve Harvey's Big Time was? I had acts from all over the world come on the show. I had 3 judges, and I had a host. That stayed on TV 2 years. It ended May 10th, 2005. I was in the middle of a divorce. My head was clouded. I didn't have the business. Along comes a show called America's Got Talent.
I was going to say that, yep. That's exactly
you know what America's Got Talent is? Shows come from all over the world, different acts. They got 3 judges, and they got a star. Well, guess what? That's my IP. That's my concept. That's my whole thought. But I ain't had no business for it. Look, man, the first year of America's Got Talent was all acts from Steve Harvey's Big Time. And they took all the producers I had from Steve Harvey's Big Time and gave them jobs. If I understood my business, America's Got Talent would belong to me. And Steve Harvey would not be sitting here talking to y'all.